Hi, welcome back to our series on the 1990s TV series, Sliders. This is one of the bookend worlds. We didn't get to our previous one because my computer died and then the audio fucked up and was not usable. So, to begin with, we'll have Koki talk about alternate history and what this world is about.
So this world seems to be occupied by cannibals that like to play the drums.
At least in the San Francisco area.
Yeah, we did a little bit of research into the Yalamu and Ohlone group. My sincerest apologies if I'm mispronouncing those tribal names. I could have done a bit more research. We certainly did more than the writers of the show did, though. We didn't see anything about cannibalism in their history. They have percussion instruments, but that drum beat just seems sort of stereotypical African tribe. It's hard to tell who are the cannibals that they're afraid of. There is some evidence of Polynesians practicing cannibalism, and they could have come to occupy the western United States. But at the end of the day, this is just sort of like, what if racist colonial notions of indigenous people were true? They played drums and ate people. It's not a very well thought out scenario.
This does seem like a huge missed opportunity. I've only been watching it as we've been doing this, but they have like Cro-Magnon and stuff and have weird politics surrounding that. And there's probably a lot of worlds where European colonialization never would have happened, that collaborating with indigenous people to explore their culture and what possibilities might have happened without colonialization could be something that would be really neat for Sliders to explore. Does this ever get explored?
I don't believe so.
Go figure. And so that kind of sucks, because I think that having a show that explores alternate universes with slight differences in the time period, not exploring this besides generic cannibal drum beaters, these could actually be like white people for all I know. Something weird could have happened, but I think they're implying indigenousness.
It could be a slave revolt, and this is a terrible thing to think about. But yeah, these could be the part of the African diaspora. Actually, bringing this up, and I'm glad you did, I feel like we may be derelict in our duties for not using this as an opportunity to invite you to explore alternate history that does engage with indigenous perspectives, such as the tabletop game Coyote and Crow, which takes place in non-colonized North America. Fun board game. I haven't played a session yet, but it looks really interesting. The world is really vast, and we actually have a copy of the book. Al Carroll, here on YouTube, has an interesting series, What If Natives Won? He explores a lot of different scenarios. The show doesn't handle indigenous people at all, and this is the closest they do to it, which is probably the worst way you can handle indigenous people.
I will say that, it's not a defense of it. It probably just makes it even potentially worse. They do show how they think the world would be if various other cultures were in charge of this part of America. They have a Hindu-ruled world, a world ruled by India. And then there's a similar one. It's a background world, but it's like, what if the Romani ruled it? And these are very problematic representations of the cultures.
They also have an ancient Egyptian-ruled California. That one isn't horrible, but I do think that an indigenous California is a bit more likely than an ancient Egyptian California.
So I wanted to bring up something. It's not politically relevant. It's not relevant to the alternate history. It's just something that I'm amused by, and so I wanted to be brought up. Hennessy, explain what zero copula is.
So it's mostly about where if you have a few nouns, or even just a noun and adjective, like for instance, I am a person, or the table is black, the copula in that is to be, or some conjugation of it. And if you were to just say the table black, or I person, that would be an example of zero copula, removing a variation of to be.
Rembrandt does this when they're talking about being eat. Something like, yeah, I'm the chicken cutlet, you the quarter pounder.
Gotta have that fat quip in there. I suppose there's not a lot to say about Puerto Rico in this timeline, just because we don't have a lot of information on this world. It could very well be that Puerto Rico is also very indigenous, though the Spanish did reach Puerto Rico much earlier than California. Puerto Ricans could very well be the cannibals threatening our protagonists. The indigenous people, the Taino, were not known for cannibalism. I know that the Caribs, the native people from the islands east of Puerto Rico, were associated with cannibalism. I'm not sure how true those allegations are, and it feels kind of silly to put too much thought into this world when the creators clearly did not. By the way, I want to make it clear, the creators didn't have to work that hard to not be racist or bash on fat people. There are a million not racist things you can do, such as like, commenting, and subscribing.
I think that's gonna be it for this world. See you in the next one.
I would also like to add
That's not
what
it for this
Koki
world.
said about how like, commenting, and subscribing isn't racist. That doesn't mean that you have free reign to just leave any comment and it's automatically not racist. It has to be a non-racist comment.
That's true. And admittedly, not being racist is a bit of a tall ask. We should try our best to be anti-racist. But obviously, we're products of our culture, and it's not to beat ourselves up over our racial biases, but it's important to acknowledge, yeah, we kind of are racist, but that doesn't mean we can't be anti-racist.
So yeah, like, comment a non-racist comment, and subscribe.
Okay, so I think that'll be it for this world. And we'll see you in the next one.
Jace.
Bye.